Ciao belli, welcome to my kitchen. Benvenuti nella mia cucina. I'm Nonna Antoinette, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a great appetizer called Ricotta Balls. So what we're starting with, we're going to get a bowl and a fork. And we have 2 cups of ricotta. If your ricotta is too watery, put it through a sieve like a cheesecloth overnight and it will let out. This one is the natural ricotta. It seems pretty good. It's not too wet. So I like this ricotta just the way it is. And we put it in the bowl. It's 2 cups. And we spread it around. Now we add 1 egg. Quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. If you like it more garlicky, put more. Half a teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Again, you can adjust these any way you want. Half a cup of grated cheese. I like to use half and half. I use half Parmigiano and half Pecorino. The reason why I do it that way is because the Parmigiano is nutty and a little sweeter, but the Pecorino is saltier and a little deeper flavor, so they complement each other. And now we mix it. We stir everything together, and then we add 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. You do not want to use fresh mozzarella because it's going to make it very watery. So you want the shredded one, the ones that come in a bag, in 1 cup. Now, I did not put any salt in here because we have cheeses and all kind of goodness, so we do not want it salty. Also, what we're going to do is add half a cup of diced prosciutto. But since I'm going to make these for my family and the little kids don't like prosciutto, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add it a little later. I'm going to use maybe 1/3 of this mix to do plain ricotta balls, and 2/3 I'm going to use with the prosciutto. Also, by not adding prosciutto, it's a good way to make it vegetarian for friends, for your friends. So I have a clean bowl here, smaller bowl, and I am going to eyeball it and put about 1/3 of the mixture. And here. Now we could add our prosciutto to the rest of it. There we go. So we want to make sure that all the yummy prosciutto is very well mixed with the ricotta. And as you could tell, this is nice and solid. It's not watery at all. And that's what we want, because we're going to fry up these babies and you'll see how good they are. All right, we're done mixing these and we are going to cover them with some plastic wrap and let them rest for about 30 minutes in the refrigerator so that the flavors come together. And also, when the ricotta is cold, it's easier to make the little balls. You don't want the ricotta to come room temperature. You do not want that. All right, these are going in the fridge, and I'll see you in a little while to make the ricotta balls. Ciao! Back, and I just took my mixtures out of the refrigerator. They're ready to go, and I have 2 beaten eggs and some flour. I just eyeballed it. Start with a cup and then see where it gets you, and about 1 cup of breadcrumbs. So we're going to make the plain balls first. Now the first thing we do, oh, and also frying pan. I'm using peanut oil, but you could use whatever oil you used to fry. I like peanut oil for frying. And use any frying pan you have, really. This is not rocket science, honestly. So, okay, now I want to show you that I'm using with a tablespoon a nice, about, I would say, the size of a golf ball. And what I do, I'm going to drop it in the flour. So do that first. Here we go. And then shake off the excess flour. Then we drop it in the egg. And you want to make sure all sides have egg. And finally, we drop it in the breadcrumbs. And the first one is done. Now we're going to wait for the oil to become nice and warm. Usually I like to fry at about 350, 375. I have a thermometer here, but if you do not have a thermometer, no, this is not ready yet, just use a little bit, put a little bit of breadcrumbs, and when they start frying up and making little bubbles, it's ready to go. So you want to make sure it's centered. And you continue making your little balls and getting them ready, because by the time the oil is ready, we want to pop them in and out as quickly as possible. I also put here paper bag and paper towels. I like to use this because when I fry my balls and they're nice and golden and ready, then I drain them on here, because this will absorb all the excess oil and it will make it lighter. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay, all our ricotta balls are finished. This recipe makes 20. Now, our oil is ready. I use my thermometer and it's perfect. So here we go. I'm going to fry the plain ones first, because we don't want the prosciutto flavor in the oil. If we're going to make them vegetarian, we don't want them to have that flavor in. Now, I wanted to tell you something. You might be wondering why an Italian Nonna is not wearing an apron, because I am not your average Italian Nonna. I've always made my own rules and done my own thing. Even with many of these recipes, I learned from my grandmothers, but I like to put my own twist on it. That's how I am. And I never liked aprons. I never liked wearing aprons. It's just something that I don't like doing. So I'm going to be the first Italian Nonna that doesn't wear an apron in the kitchen. And you know what? Totally fine, right? We do what makes us happy. Now we're going to lower the flame a little bit, because we don't want them to brown too fast. So these don't need to cook long, because all the ingredients other than the egg could be eaten just as they are. So as long as you get a little crust, brown crust around it, that's all you need. And don't worry about if some of the ricotta or the cheese escapes. That's okay. It's like, you know, fried mozzarella. It will escape, but that's okay. No big problem. Use your little spider and you clean them right up. No damage done. And I'm sure you're going to have people fighting over those crumbs, because you know what? That's the best part. The fried little bits. Those are everybody's favorite. Okay, now these are the ones with the prosciutto. Now, don't overcrowd your pan. You want to make sure that there's enough oil around the little ricotta ball to fry it up. Go. Let's see. Sometimes the oil get colder. When you put the cold ricotta balls in the oil, it will cool down the oil. So just adjust the flame. That's all. As you need. You can turn it up when you need to, turn it down when you don't. Like I said, this cooking is not rocket science. You can make it your own and you just follow your instinct. We started this frying pan. I filled it with oil to about 2 fingers from the top, and that's going to be enough to fry the entire batch. In case you see that the oil is going down too quickly, you just, once you take your ricotta balls out, you add a little more oil, let it come to temperature like we did the first time, and then you continue frying. Do not add the oil while you're frying because that's cold oil with hot oil. No, no, no. Okay, we're all done. Here we are. These are the prosciutto ones, and these are the plain. The prosciutto, we put a little pot of sauce. That is also my logo. If you follow me on Instagram here, you know that my logo is the little red Le Creuset pot. And these are the vegetarian one, the plain ricotta. These are delicious. Even, don't worry about it if they don't come out perfectly round or whatever. Don't worry about it. The flavor of these is unbelievable. You will be everybody's best friend after they taste this. Believe me, take my word for it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so nice to have you in my kitchen. And please come back soon. Ciao. Mwah.